Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to review the 2018 comedy movie Blockers that stars Leslie Mann, John Cena and Ike Barinholtz, and is a movie that I did a trailer reaction for a couple of months ago now, and I thought the trailer looked pretty amusing, pretty funny. And this film has been getting pretty decent reviews from some of the reviews that I've been seeing. So it's a movie that I've been interested to watch. I like a good comedy movie. And after watching this movie, I have to say I thought it was okay. I thought it was funny where it needed to be funny, certainly for me. But there are aspects of this movie that I thought were a bit generic, and we'll talk a little bit about them later. But what we essentially get with this movie is there is three parents, John Cena, Leslie Mann and Ike Barinholtz, and at the beginning of the movie you see them drop their three daughters off at school for the first time as 5-6-year-old girls, and the daughters immediately become best friends, and then the parents end up becoming friends, and then it shoots forward to prom night several years later, clearly. And on the night of the prom, the daughters, the three girls, decide to undertake some kind of sex pact, and they want to lose their virginity on prom night, and they all agree to do it. And on their way to the prom, Leslie Mann's daughter leaves her laptop on, and the three parents notice all these strange emojis, and they basically figure out this sex pact. Which horrifies them all, apart from Ike Barinholtz, who initially tries to put them off and try and calm the situation down. But they decide to basically chase after their three girls and put a stop to all this, and end up getting in all sorts of little misadventures, like going to the prom itself, watching some parents have sex by mistake, having beer chugs up the backsides, all that good comedy stuff that you see. And that's the general gist of the story here. Now, generally speaking, like I say, I thought this at parts was very, very funny. There was about 3 or 4 times in this movie that I seriously laughed out loud, and they were genuinely funny. However, there were also moments of this movie that bothered me a little bit. Or, again, what we get here is another generic comedy movie in certain aspects of it. You get these messages pried in there that they do over and over again in movies like this, that I don't necessarily, I think actually didn't help this movie. They only harmed it. Because, like I say, at certain points in the movie, it's very generic, it's very by numbers, it feels like they're ticking boxes, it gets a bit politically correct here and there. And it just, they feel like, I think they need to vocalise it. Like, for example, John Cena's wife in one of the scenes, when she finds out what they're doing, she's really upset with them. And to be fair, they go over the top, but it's a comedy movie, of course they go over the top. But her reasonings as to why is kind of like, oh, why don't you just let them explore their sexuality? You know, when a man does it, it's okay. When a woman does it, it's not, sort of thing. And it's just like, no rational parent would talk like that. She's right, but as a parent, you wouldn't talk like that. You would be horrified if you knew your daughter was intending on losing her virginity that night. You know, it's something that every parent knows is going to happen with their child, but you don't want to know about it. You don't want it announcing to you, sort of thing. So I just thought, they're prying in these messages and they didn't need to, and one of the girls is struggling with her sexuality, and the way they deal with that, it's all sweetness and light, really, and all it works out beautifully and wonderfully, and it's just not reality, if you like. I like the fact that a movie sometimes wants to give a message, but I'm not sure they always give it in the right way. For Monty Python were never interested in giving messages in movies, you know. Anchorman's not interested in giving messages in its movies. They just want to be silly and fun. So I don't always like a movie to pry these messages in there. You know, it's not why I watch a comedy movie. I just want to be entertained and laugh. That's what I really want from a comedy movie. However, saying that, this movie does that too. Genuinely, there are some very, very funny moments in this movie, and they're pulled off very, very well. I thought John Cena was pretty good in this movie. I've not seen him in Trainwreck and the Daddy's Home movies and stuff like that, so I've not seen him develop as a comedy actor really. But I thought he did well in this movie. At the beginning I was a bit worried because his acting when he's crying when he drops his daughter off at school for the first time was really bad, and I was a bit worried. But he settled into the role really well. He fit the part, and he gave a very good comedy performance. I was impressed. Leslie Mann was fantastic. She was the standout. She's such a great comedy actress. She doesn't put a foot wrong here, and she's genuinely very funny. And Ike Barinholtz gives the kind of performance that you have seen previously in his other movies, but he shows his tender side as well at parts in this movie. So generally we do have quite a strong comedy movie here. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I thought the last quarter of the movie was seriously ticking boxes and by the numbers and very generic, and mapped out exactly as you would expect it to. It doesn't really give you any surprises, this movie. It doesn't try to do anything particularly differently. It doesn't take a huge amount of risks, but to say I didn't laugh when I watched this, I'll be lying, because I did, and I think this is a pretty strong comedy movie. Comedy is always so subjective, it depends on your sense of humour, but this film genuinely made me laugh at times, and I had a good time watching it. So I would recommend this if you like a good comedy movie, and if you can get over some of the messages it's prying in there, and the pretty generic by the numbers last quarter of the movie. So yeah, Blockers guys, give it a go. It's not bad at all.